long story short, I get my CDL. It take me 4 attempts, man. I failed 3 times.
4 attempts.
Yeah.
On the driving portion, what'd you fail?
On the driving portion, it was that clutch, bro. Coming out. I think it was a setup from the get-go between me and you.
Yeah.
Yo.
Somebody always setting this guy up, man. I don't know what's going on here. Something's starting to get fishy.
Right. but look, we coming out the gate and there's an incline hill.
Yeah.
And you know if you stall a truck in the CDL test, it's an instant fail, bro.
It's a wrap.
Yo, this is the most humbling experience of my life. I'm coming out and I stall on the hill the first time. I passed everything else flying colors. Time for my test, stall. And then when you stall, you got to take the truck out. You got to go around. You got to do a long little course.
Yeah.
It's just like the same ride you're doing if you was going to pass. Yeah. So I'm literally doing that knowing I already failed, bro. Can you imagine how that feels?
Like the walk of shame.
It's the walk of shame, yo. It's the driver shame. To be able to go around, it's like a 2-mile circuit. So you feel it every inch of that mile. Like, man.
Right.
It really broke my spirit. And then my mom, she was letting me know. She's like, yo, go try again. Because I was at that point. I was 2 times in on failing at that daggone incline.
Right.
So I called my uncle Gerard, who was driving at the time. I was like, yo, give me some advice on the clutch. He's like, find your friction point. I said, I said, you son of a. That right there did it. So I get to the test. Before I even get to the hill, I find my friction point on the flat surface. The friction point is you let the clutch up a little bit, about halfway or 25%, and then you feel that tug. Once you feel that little tug, that lets you know you got enough momentum to come up off of that clutch and follow up with the gas. So me finding that, man, what? I pull out that test.
You was whipping
Now
it.
she tried to switch it up on me. She's like, what was that last sign right there? I was like, what? I was like, yo, I didn't even know that part existed. Yo.
Keep your eyes moving.
Man, I hit it with something. I was like, yo, I said, blind kid playing. I said, blind kid at play. I ain't know if that sign said that.
Right.
I'll be 100 with you.
Right.
I just know that that's one of those signs.
Right.
Blind kid at play. She was like, she just accepted it. She's
right.
like, I can't argue that one.
She probably didn't even see what the sign was. Yeah.
So that helped me, get through my test real easy. Just applying and asking for advice from my elders.
That's so funny, man. Thinking about those driving tests.
Man.
I remember I got my CDL in 2004.
Is it still active?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, it's very active. I remember,
I'm gonna call you, bro, if I need a truck recovered.
The pre-trip, you know what I'm saying? Check the oil, make sure all of that.
Yeah.
And then the back end and all that. That was a good old day. Alley docking, your back end. That was some good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do that.
That's real.
You know?
That's real. And I wish they would. I wish more people would take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because it's enlightening, Like I said, my mother was a substance abuse counselor for so long that she wanted to see the world. Fastest and easiest way for her to accommodate that was get a CDL.
Yeah.
So my mom was just rocking a CDL, like, and out here being able to switch up her day-to-day activity and just seeing things and live a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. All right. So you get the CDL. What happens next?
Oh man, it's turning burn time. I'm thinking owner operator off the rip. I wasn't thinking company driver. I started doing the comparables. Me making the money with Forex allowed me to see money in a different light. I mean, me being a father now to my only son at the time allowed me to see things at an even greater light. I got to be accountable and I got to make enough money and multiply enough money to be able to, sustain this family.
Yeah.
So I go right to KLM, and the first conversation they had with me is like company driver, owner operator. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what company driver is, bro. Just show me owner operator.
Right.
So I got into a truck with my man, Ernest Moore. Salute, shout to Ernest. Earl Moore, sorry about that. And Earl was able to teach me the maneuvering of the truck that I probably lapsed in.
Right.
And I was able to teach him the systems of being able to record his maintenance intervals, how to actually do fuel. Back then, they didn't even have a fuel calculator. They wasn't calculating fuel. They were just pumping.
Right.
And the one phrase they would say, watch how much you pump because it's going to be coming out of our paycheck.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, that don't sound right, bro. I need to know this.
Yeah.
So I started coming up and divvying up formulas for all of this stuff. The fuel formula now that everybody's using was a part of my knowledge base that I developed. This is like 2006, 7, 8, around that time. So the fuel formula is this. You go 700 miles. You take your 700 miles and you actually divide that into how much miles per gallon your truck is getting. And that's going to tell you how many gallons you need. But I always add 10 gallons on top of that because no matter where I get to, I'm never going to be running out of fuel. But the kick to the 10 gallons is you got 5 trips a week, right? You added 10 gallons per trip. That's 50 extra gallons at the end of the week, right? Now you got free, close to a free trip of fuel. So even if your last load for the week wasn't paying substantially enough, you already negated a portion of that revenue towards the fuel to go to your pocket. You know what I mean? So I was developing ways to keep money
right.
and track money And it was just a beautiful thing.
Did that come from your aviation experience? Is that
I think it did.
Yeah.
I think it did. Breaking down numbers and formulating systems.
Got you. All right, that's dope. So you said you didn't even think about being a company driver. You went straight to owner operator. So you said you were team driving with?
I had to. When you first come out, you gotta have a trainer. And they asked me specifically what kind of trainer I want. I said I want an elder. I want somebody who's actually been out here more than 5 years.
Okay.
Because now they'll put you on a trainer with the same cat that just came out of school with you.
Right.
Like, nah, bro, how you learning? What y'all learning? Each other's mistakes.
The blind leading the blind.
You know what I'm saying? Each other's mistakes. So that was a beautiful beginning, man. Earl tried to ask me to be permanent on his truck because it was such a good. He's seen a 15 to 20% revenue growth just from the 3 months I was on his truck.
Right.
And that's not the team. You know how they make money off the team drivers and stuff. That's not even including any of that.
Yeah.
It's just the sensibility of him knowing his spread now.
Got you. So that fuel consumption.
That fuel,
yeah, for sure.
And then trip management.
Okay, talk about that.
Teaching him how to route himself to the right lanes. Atlanta, KLM had 2 hubs at the time. One was in Atlanta and one was in Portage. Earl was based out of Dallas. So he would have to leave Dallas and try to get to one of those 2 hubs to generate a positive revenue. So I said, why don't we get a load going to the Portage realm? Because Atlanta's oversaturated already. It's everybody that comes in KLM going to go straight to Atlanta.
Right.
I said, let's go to the portal that nobody's thinking about going to because we'll have more options for freight. And then on top of that, the Midwest is always booming, no matter what time of year. Ohio and Indiana. If you want to make bread, if you got a truck moving right now, your truck should touch Ohio a minimum of 3 times a week. If you want to bust out the gross. So at the time, me telling him to let's go to Portage, he ain't understand it until we got up there. And then we was just killing freight, man.
Wow.
Killing freight. We talking about $4,000 weeks. And this is me after I get in my own trucks, $4,000 to $5,000 weeks. If net.
Yeah, if you want to catch fish, man, go where there's no fishermen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's wide open.
It was wide open.
That's dope. So you said he showed how much of a growth?
15% minimum.
15%.
Yep.
So he ain't want to let you go.
He didn't want to let me go. He was like, bro, he said, yo, can you ride on the truck? I'm like, nah. I said, I got my own chapter to carve out.
Okay.
Respectfully,
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into that. How do you separate from him and how do you get into your own thing?
I go back and I take the owner operator class they had. They want you to come in and they want you to make sure you understand the numbers and stuff I was just breaking down.
Yeah.
The irony of that, they asking me to understand it, but they ain't teaching none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand that. How you asking me, are you gauging my understanding on something that you say you have, but the previous drivers don't have it?
Right.
So I went in there and then I picked out my truck. And this is where it got really interesting.
There's like a lease to own?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I picked out a 2009 truck in 2008. And while I was going through that class, I met one of my good friends, Taurus, and he actually became my first driver when I kicked off.
Okay.
But me and him, we both was like, he was like, yo, how do I pick a truck? I said, all right, this is what you got to do. Then all of a sudden, everybody in the class is coming around. I got to go down there. I got to get the maintenance report first of all.
Right.
And this is the airplane stuff kicking in. Get the maintenance report, find everything they done on that truck. I said, the bigger the maintenance report, the better that truck go be.
Right.
I don't know why. I was like, I was just like a stickler of just whatever.
Yeah.
So we all down there. It was like 12 of us in the class.
Okay.
That 1 week, the facilitator said, we've never seen nobody ask for the maintenance report.
Right.
She was like, huh? Right. She had to even figure out how to get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, we gonna be patient. We just gonna go to lunch. So we go to corral around the corner, come back, and everybody had their maintenance reports for the trucks they picked out.
Right.
Some trucks got left, and then some trucks got taken. My truck was the perfect truck at that moment. So that just, man, I was turning and burning. I left Mississippi, my orientation location, and I went straight to Atlanta for my little week off. And then after that, they say, you want to be in Atlanta or Portage?
Yeah.
I said, nah, send me to Portage.
Okay.
So every 2 weeks, that's where I would be at. Nonstop running, man.
Wow, that's crazy. So how long did you do that?
I did that for enough to almost pay off the truck.
Okay.
So that was like 2.5, 3 years.
So 2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years I dedicated to KLM, learning the systems and learning the owner-operator realm, learning maintenance intervals, learning. I met so many mechanics on the road. I'm the guy, if you come to work on my truck, I'm going to test your knowledge base for one. Even if I don't know nothing, I'm going to still test your knowledge base because I don't want you messing up my truck.
Right.
You know, this truck's costing $700 a week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I put an extra K on that.
Right.
You know, so that just in that alone allowed me to get more information and more knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tap into the diesel side until I got into the CDLs. So with and this is just a tidbit for anybody out there, with every person that comes to touch your equipment, learn from them. You know what I mean? Whether it's, hey, how often should I change this filter? or whether it's, hey, how often should I drain these tanks? All of that is applied knowledge. And if you got a experienced mechanic about to touch your equipment, that's a blessing to you. So I was just tapping in nonstop with them.
Yeah. So how important would you say that 3-year experience was to your business moving forward? Like, would you tell somebody to go that same exact route if they were trying to get into this industry?
I would.
Yeah.
I would. You got to crawl before you walk, you know, especially with the way people are shopping trucks right now. You buy a truck and it'll mess up your whole trajectory. You be the wrong truck. Anybody got maintenance reports no more.
Right.
You know, they're not pushing that learn your equipment no more. They're just putting a number on it. If the number's good for you and you got the credit and you got the money down payment, it's yours. But when you get that, you got a limit. They don't know the miles, parameters. It's so much.
Right.
I'd rather if you got a chance to learn from somebody that's older than you or somebody that's been in this industry, take advantage of it. Find a mentor. Find somebody who's actually doing what it is you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things, man. You gotta have proof in the pudding.
Got you, 100%. All right, so 3 years, you rock out with KLM.
KLM shafted me, man. I didn't want to say it because I knew he was like, yo, everybody get my mans, man. But that's the growth.
God, man.
Yo, I take growth from
I already
else.
knew this. So somebody did something to you.
Yeah,
I could have told you that.
I'm out here for vengeance, man. Like,
told you that.
know?
You gonna say I shafted you by this interview? Chuck Hustle did me dirty. Nah,
yeah, he ain't let me drop the interview rap.
Guys, so what happens? They shaft you.
Yeah, yo. With lease owner operators, the part that they don't tell you about is you have a confinement of where you can get that truck worked on. So you think you could get that truck worked on at Tom, Dick, and Hanks, but nah, bruh. They had a limitation of who I could take it to and et cetera. So I'm down to like 3 months left on this lease. I'm about to pay this truck off. My first truck. I'm like, oh, snap.
Right.
I was working that hard. 2.5 years. Hard body. I get down to 2 months. I have a clutch issue, man. This is how I started learning all about the clutches too.
Okay.
So my clutch is going out in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And this is around Christmas time. I'm trying to get home. Almost didn't make it home. They said every shop is closed in the area. They said we need you to take your truck to this particular shop and this particular shop only. So they actually restricted me of where I could take it to. To me, that's a realm of liability.
Yeah.
Right. The moment it happened, I was like, okay, y'all taking ownership of anything that they do or don't do right.
Facts.
So I'm in a hotel for like a day and a half. They working on my clutch. I needed a new flywheel. I get my clutch. My joint's still hitting the floor. I ain't getting no pressure, no nothing. Go back in there. So I'm in there another day. Now it's like I'm getting my truck out. It's Christmas Eve. So I'm hightailing it to Atlanta. And I ain't even realizing my clutch still ain't working.
Right.
I'm floating by this time.
Right.
So I don't care about the clutch. As long as I can get in that first gear,
you good money.
I'm scooting.
Yeah.
And I had a load on me too. And it's a reefer load.
Okay.
So you already know. Reefer load, I was already in that hotel for 2.5 days.
Oh, yeah.
First, I literally had a gas can putting gas in the daggone reefer tank.
Yeah, the cold
while
chain.
The truck was at the, you know what I mean, to keep it moving. While the truck was
keep
at
the cold
thing.
chain going,
Yeah, and this is in the wintertime, bro. I'm walking doing this.
Wow.
So we talking about sacrificial moves. So I get down to, shit real. So I get down to Atlanta, clutch goes out at the yard. I couldn't even go in reverse. At the KLM yard, I'm dropping the trailer for the week. And I'm looking at the truck, man. I go in there, I raise hell, man. I say, I had to pay for that though. That's the plot twist. They'll tell you where to take your truck, but it's coming out of your profit. It's coming out of your money.
Right.
And you can't reprimand them because they sent you there. Nah, not this time.
Yeah.
So I told them, I was like, yo, y'all got me up here at this bad shop. They messed up my stuff. Y'all gonna hold them accountable? Oh, no, you should follow up with them and see if they could. I did that already. I was already on the phone with them before I called you.
Right.
I was telling them, man, yeah, I'm sending my big brother after you. And then my big brother like, yo, this your fight.
Yeah.
So I was like, how y'all gonna do me like that? Damn. So my black butt takes my truck over to Freightliner. I say, yo, y'all buy trucks? I remember I said like 2 months away from it being paid off. They was like, yeah, we buy trucks. I said, well, I got a truck with a bad clutch, which I probably shouldn't have said, let them find that out.
Right.
But I was like, I got a truck with a bad clutch. He's like, well, take a look at it. How much you owe on it? I just did the math real quick. I'm like, $6,700. Oh, he said, okay, cool. Next thing I know, they trying to write me a check for that truck.
Right.
But I had to get permission from KLM to sell it to them.
Okay.
So I get permission. KLM says no. They said we're going to put a hold on that truck because you got repairs that's needed and you got a balance due. I said, so if they actually write that check, can I have them write it in your name and then you hit me with the et cetera?
With the excess,
right?
Yeah.
Right? They said, nah, come and turn your truck in at the terminal and then we're going to work out your account the right way. I don't know what the right way was.
Right.
My crazy butt, I turned it into the terminal thinking I'm doing the right stuff. Bro, they shafted me, bro. I got my last check. It was like $4,700 because I was still running my runs. And then they hit me with like maybe $35,000 to $4,000. And then they told me to upgrade into a new truck.
Wow.
So the owner-operator plea that everybody's talking about, go out here and get a truck with these companies, that's what they do. You get to the point where your truck's about to be paid off, they'll do everything in their power to make sure that you upgrade to another truck to keep that wheel moving. Because at the end of the day, they leasing trucks. They don't own none of these trucks.
Right.
So the same thing that they're doing, we're figuring out how to do now. We're leasing trucks and being able to have access to a big fleet immediately. And their business model at the time wasn't successful, especially when it came to liability.
If you twisted, confused, or stuck about trucks, don't be dumb. This is the place to come. Truck and Hustle. Let's go.